Hey guys, it's Adam, and I just want to show you guys this real quick, just because, I thought it might be helpful for some of you guys. But I'm going to be showing you, I've got 8 of them right here. My Kalanchoe beharensis fang leaves that need to be propagated, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So they came off of my plant that had got done flowering, so I chopped it down, and I have stem cuttings, and I also have some leaf cuttings, which is what I'll be taking today. So right here, I have just a standard, potting mix with an added handful or two of perlite. The measurements don't really have to be too exact, but basically 1 part standard potting mix with perlite already in it, with about 2 added parts of perlite is a good mixture for rooting succulent cuttings, cactus and succulent cuttings just in general. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding water to it because this is sphagnum peat moss, and it's hard to penetrate it with water if you don't water it first with some warm water just from a spray bottle. So just want to add enough water. You want to add it very slowly because you don't want to overwater your mix, and you just want to mix everything together, mix all of your ingredients, and that should be a nice loose mixture. I'm going to take a nursery pot here. Most succulents I would just plant them in like a pan or a tray or something, or a flat if I had a lot of them. Maybe even a cell tray. But these guys, there's so many, and there's such big leaves that you can actually plant with their stems downward in the soil that I'm going to just go ahead and use a nursery pot. One of the few examples of these small, or a second leaf cutting where I'd actually do this. But here, I'm going to go ahead and just fill this with my mixture here. So there's my pot, nice and filled with the damp mixture. You don't want it to be soggy, you just want it to be damp. And then you want to take each leaf, and I've let these callus over. You can see that the end of each one is dried because I've let them callus over. I put them in a cool, dry place to callus over, and you can do this anywhere from a few days to a few weeks, even to a few months. And I'm just going to shallowly insert them into the medium. Now you could lay them down on the surface like this if you only had 1 or 2. You could actually even cut the leaf in half and grow the bottom and the top section. And most succulents that doesn't work, but Kalanchoe beharensis is one of the only ones that I've ever successfully done like that way. So these will work. It's actually a leaf from the same plant as the leaves that you're seeing me repot, or not repot, but pot on. And these are a little bit crowded right now, but that's okay. I can move them out in time. I just want to put them in a container for now, just since they're just kind of laying around. So there we go. Pot of leaves was just a bit older. I wanted to experiment just to see if you always needed to use the entire leaf or if you could just use a piece. So I have 1 leaf I took 3 leaves that were actually the entire leaves. And 1 leaf that was just the very end, or just the top of it, and I just wanted to see which one would root better. This leaf right here has some roots on it, and then my leaf that's just the top half is also rooting, so you can do it either way, just in case you were wondering. Just gonna go ahead and pop this guy back in. I'm sorry that you guys can't see very well everything that I'm doing. It will take quite a long time for them to grow this way into mature-sized plants, but it's fun and pretty interesting to do. You just need some patience. But it's pretty foolproof. It just takes a while. Eventually what you should get is a leaf like this that actually has little baby plantlets coming out of the bottom of it, as you can see here. You can see that there's a root kind of right there, that little white line. And there's also some very small miniature replicas of the parent plant, and you can see those in here. A couple of tips. Let it dry between waterings, but when you water it, make sure it's thorough. Make sure you use well-draining potting mix. I like to keep mine by windowsills, and also the leaf that you use is what the plant is going to look like. So this one has a lot of bumps on it. This one's called Fang because it has a lot of bumps that are supposed to look like little fangs almost. So this one is a very bumpy leaf, so these plantlets, when they grow into full-size plants, they will be very bumpy, whereas most of the leaves that were on my plant didn't really have as many bumps, and that's kind of unusual for that variety, but you get a couple that are just like that. So yeah, what was I gonna say? So yeah, they won't be quite as bumpy. Sorry about that. I'm sorry about the vibrating too. But yeah, that's that. That's really all I have to say about it. A lot of patience is required, but if you exercise some patience, you'll have some really nice plantlets. And they'll eventually develop into full-size plants. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.